Welcome back, everybody. I'm Giles, and today I'm being joined by Michael Andrew, one of my old friends. His name's a little bit different, but it's still the same guy. And we're going to be talking about everything you missed at Cedia 2023. Mike, welcome.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. A little worse for wear. I think a little under the weather. I think I brought home more than the excitement of the show. I think I might have caught a little cold there also, but you know, I am super excited about all these things that I got to see because there's a bunch of new stuff that I had not really seen before and a couple of new brands that kind of jumped out to me that I really want to talk about today. And I think we're going to have a good time telling everybody about all the stuff at Cedia and hopefully answering some questions for people out there as well. What about you? Anything new your way?
Well, I had a great time at Cedia. You can hear me okay, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't have a monitor on me. I don't know why the monitor's not working. Just realized that actually. Yeah, I had a good time at Cedia. I hadn't been since 2019, so for me it was a bit of a shock because in 2019 it was kind of I'd say kind of dry. It didn't have many people, not many exhibitors, and then this was like I'd say double the exhibitors, triple the people.
Oh, it's back. I mean, it was full force. And for folks that don't know, the Cedia Expo, it's not only an expo, but it's also the big annual meeting for the Cedia group in general. And they do training and they have meetings and events and awards and all kinds of stuff. It's massive. Now, for me, it's a great opportunity to one see friends, right? Because these are the shows where everybody kind of gets together to look at stuff, so you get to say hi to everybody, and then you get to actually see all of the new gear and experience it because they have a number of demo rooms and lots of expo floor space where things are on display. So it's really fun for folks that geek out on this kind of stuff. And that's really what this show is about today. We're going to answer questions for people and then talk about what we saw on the show floor. Now, as a prop, I've got the map for the demo room floor here for us so we can take a look at that. And I want to talk a little bit about what's going on here. So, for the most part, everything was on the main floor, and you can see all of the booths here. But there was also a handful of rooms on the second floor, and then another item that might not have been obvious to everyone is that there were a number of companies that actually had space offsite, so you'd have to go somewhere else. And notably, Perlison had a room offsite, and then Massimo had a couple of demo rooms and other items across the street at the La Meridian, I think it was. Uh, so if you didn't make it to those, sad to miss out on those. But next year when you come, and it should be in Denver again next year, make sure to check out the bottom floor because I'm sure people will be there. And then for your favorite brands, if you don't see them well represented on the floor, that means they might be somewhere else as well. So it's always good to ask and see. All right. So how do you want to do this? Maybe we could just take a look at the map and do kind of a virtual walkthrough and talk about the different booths because I have a lot of comments on those and we can kind of get through that way. And if anybody has any particular questions about a booth, if Mike and I remember, we'll talk about it because it's a lot of stuff. All right, so let's start out here on the I don't know what direction it is, but on the west or the right side of the map. So when you come in, if you're walking through, the first thing you're going to see for the most part is Sony. So Mike, what do you think Sony this year?
It was a big booth, a huge booth, and that was my first stop. I'm going to be going over all my experience, my personal experience in a video, either tomorrow or Tuesday when I release it. But so I don't want to go too into detail. But Sony overall, I thought was cool. I thought it was a little bit disappointing that they don't make their own high end speakers anymore, which I feel like Sony has so many resources. I felt like that's kind of like a no brainer for them, but they were really there to showcase their projectors and their UAVR, which both worked great. I didn't have any qualms with that, and I really enjoyed it. So, and everything went well there.
Right on. Yeah. So my takeaway from Sony is no new projectors. A lot of people have asked if anything was new there, but nothing from that point of view. They do have a new 13 channel processor and potentially some newer models as well that I really didn't pay attention to. But they had a couple of demos, and I guess their claim to fame for their demo this time is that they were showing their projector with their AVR, not external amplification, but they were trying to, show just an all-in-one solution of all you need is a projector, AVR, and source, and then speakers around. And I think they were actually using, was it KEF speakers?
In their main room, it was KEF. In their secondary room, which had their less expensive projector and AVR, it was monitor audio.
Right on.
Um, I thought that the AVR in the main room did a great job at amplifying the 4 ohm KEF speakers, and it was cranking them all at once, and it was great. It was impressive to see an AVR give out that much juice.
Yeah. Now, if you compare this to the other demo rooms, obviously, this isn't a 24
Check,
subwoofer,
check,
50,000 kind of thing. I can hear you.
check,
Um,
check.
I
I
can still
can't
hear
hear me
you.
though.
Yeah,
I
I can
can't
hear
hear
you.
me though.
Oh, yeah. Just take off the microphones and the headphones. Just do it like me. But
Geez, I just realized you don't have micro or headphones on.
no. I just do it all external now, so it's a little bit
You're
easier.
going nude.
That's right. Everybody can see my beautiful ear holes. But
Yeah, so
the
Sony was cool.
televisions were
I thought.
beautiful. The
Yeah.
TVs were beautiful. I mean, as always.
Here's the thing, though, Giles. I think everybody's TVs were beautiful. You feel me? Like I think it's getting to a point where everybody is embracing OLED. They're embracing all this new technology, and they're kind of battling within one another to see who can go biggest, quickest. And I think that's a good thing, only because that's going to bring the prices down. So let's say for argument's sake, Sony was the only one doing a 110-inch TV. Then they could charge whatever they want for it. But the fact that everybody's doing 100+ inch TVs now, I think that's going to bring the prices down a little bit. And I think we need that, because I've noticed that anything 85 plus is extremely expensive right now. Anything 85 below, I think it has become very affordable. But 85 plus, oh man, we're struggling there, because we're talking close to 10K, for a lot of these. So
Well, there is one notable new television in that size range that has a good price, but just one that I know of. And my comments on that, it appears as as you look at Sony, Samsung, and LG and Hisense.
mhm.
TCL was not here as far as I know.
I
Those
wish
are
they
the
would have been, because I know they have some cool stuff.
Oh, they have really cool stuff. I love TCL. But those were the four big television manufacturers that were on the floor. And they all were showing 98-inch televisions as their big or largest size in a general consumer television. Now they have, like the wall from Samsung that's 150, and they have all these huge things, right? But those are
Mm.
special kind of televisions. But 98 inch is now the kind of the standard when they'll have a line of televisions that you buy for your home. That'll be the big one now. Now TCL, they have their 98-inch, which is probably the least good looking of the models. At like $4,000 right now on sale. So that's your low price leader for the 98. But they all have
Mark,
them.
mark my words. I think that price will come down
Absolutely.
by this time next year. I think we'll see those types of TVs in the maybe 1,500 to 3,000 range, because there's no way they can continue doing that. Not a lot of people can afford that,
Yeah.
and people want bigger, they want better, and OLED is where it's at, I think. And I know
I don't
different
think they're
companies.
doing these in OLED though. I think these are all micro LED at this size.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The OLED
Um,
ones, they have them, but they're like $150,000. I don't I'm just making that up, but they're a lot more expensive.
no, when I was at the Sony spot, their big, huge display that they had was a panel TV. And I asked them, how just out of just for
Giggles.
shizzes and giggles, how much does that go for? And he's like, oh, that's like $250,000. I'm
Yeah.
like, only.
Yeah. The panel, I think the future for home theater to a certain extent is going to be panel TVs if they can get the price down. Right now, like you said, they just cost so much. But if they ever do like larger panels, like 50-inch panels that they can get rid of the seam with, they could do a 120-inch TV for $5,000 or
Honestly,
something.
you know where I think things are going to go is, and this is just a prediction, and maybe this is actually reality. I don't know. Do you know those light tiles that you put on the wall that are reactive and have different colors and stuff? Those
Sure.
little octagon looking things.
Yeah.
I forgot what they're called. I have some here. I haven't put them up.
It's just the little
I
LED lights.
Yeah, I think things will get that thin and that easy to put together to where the consumer can just order a box of these tiles, configure it in any design they want or any size they want, and make it work. I think that is a possibility. Will it be presented that way? Probably not, but I think that would be kind of cool. Don't you
Yeah.
think? Like if
Yeah,
someone just ships
absolutely.
you a bunch of tiles and you just put it on the wall, plug it in, and you got beautiful TV.
Yeah, the
I mean,
magic sauce for all of that. They can make these little LED tiles that are like this that are even flexible. The question is, how do they wire in the power, and then what does the controller look like that for that, right? So how do you take a video
mhm.
source and chop it up and then send it out to these 800 different little panels? But I agree, absolutely. All right, so moving on. So Home Theater Man says, how you doing today? Man, I'm sick. I don't feel good. But I'm doing great otherwise. Everybody's like, we can hear it in his voice. So let's take a look at the rest of this little square right here. So in this Sony square, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I keep
I'm sorry,
clicking.
my camera is blocking the bottom left portion of whatever you're showing. So
So
I could see Sony to the right of the camera, and then everything to the right. I can see Lutron and all that stuff, but I can't. Creston is what I'm blocking. Okay,
right on. So, but
now
for
I can't see
everybody else
anything.
that can see, let's see. We've got in this block at the beginning, we got Sony, and then behind them is audio control. And the only notable thing about audio control is I think they sold off their car audio division, or maybe it was they sold off their home AV division to somebody else. So somebody picked up part of ownership of audio control. Outside of that, I really didn't take a close look at them this time around. Any comments on that one, Mike?
Okay. So here's the sorry, I'm saying hi to everybody. Here's the crappy part. I regret, and I think I talked to you about this yesterday. I regret not organizing myself better for this show because I almost this entire show I was too busy trying to listen to the heavy three, that I unfortunately did not have enough time to visit with companies like audio control whom I really wanted to see their stuff.
Yep.
So I think for
It's
next
hard. There's
year,
never enough time.
oh man, for next year I'm going to organize it way better. I'm going to do all the VIP screenings, all the press events, so that way during the show I can actually go to each individual spot and be like, okay, like show me, tell me about yourself. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to visit audio control. I didn't get a chance to visit a lot of people, but
Yeah, and I think we'll have to just skip through the ones that we don't have a lot of comment on. But if people have questions about them, I can recount as best I can what they had there. So, um,
I can
audio control.
picture it. I can picture it, but I did not visit them. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So Fortress is furniture, I believe, and I don't really have any comments there. So LG is the next one. So LG was in full force with all of their equipment. Televisions are looking beautiful. I think both Mike and I will have uh, independent videos about LG coming out over the next coming days to focus on that more closely. But the one of the real big take homes for me, and I know it will be for you as well, was they brought two computer monitors that were just gorgeous, right? One
Mhm.
that's the Flexi style, and then an OLED version, absolutely stunning, gorgeous. Televisions were there, and then I think the funkiest thing was their TV in a suitcase.
For me, that was the biggest takeaway.
Right. So that's a very interesting, uh, very specific use case for someone who wants a TV in a suitcase. And I think they build it, really just for the notoriety of it. But
You
yeah,
know why they built it? Because they can, Giles.
That's right. Just because, and it's cool, but I mean, you got to have a real strong use case for it. So
Which
Lutron,
I'm
I don't.
still trying to figure out the use case for that.
Yeah. All right. So the Lutron booth, that's lighting, and I don't cover a lot of lighting, so no comments there. No comments
Which
on sonnets.
I did hear Lutron is like the lighting situation. So I didn't get to visit with them, but I did hear comments about Lutron, and I guess they do have a lot of good lighting solutions for people in
Oh,
the
there's a ton, and we'll
that
get to
want
other
to
places like D.
illuminate strange things. So
Yeah, but they probably had 20 lighting companies here, and it's just not really in my wheelhouse of things that I can really talk about. But one that Mike can talk about more saliently now is Sonos, right? So Sonos was in the
oh
house.
yeah, Sonos was actually there, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a full breakdown of their Arc soundbar, their Era 300s, and their subwoofer. I'm excited for that because I actually haven't set it up yet because I'm actually designing my bedroom around this stuff. So I've made my counterpart pretty upset about my most most current venture there. But yeah, I wanted to really. This is a break into a different genre of things for me because I've been hi-fi audio since the beginning of my channel. This is kind of why I changed the name. So for the people that are watching this that do know me and know what Giles and I have done for the past 3 years together, yeah, I've been through Audio Architects, I've been through Mike on Audio, and now it's Michael Andrew because I want to diversify. I want to provide more lifestyle, more. I don't know. I even Cedia kind of solidified that for me because I saw how cool it was to see a different variety of audio, video, stuff like that. So Giles kind of inspired that as well because I know Giles made that breakaway before I did, but yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see that. And Sonos was great. Sonos is, I'd say, the leader in lifestyle products, the leader in I wouldn't say affordable, the lead, just a leader in lifestyle
They're
products.
not affordable, but they
Yeah,
are the leader in
well, they're
lifestyle
they're
audio.
not they're not like Bangaloofs expensive, but they do hold their price. So
Yep. Yeah, they are definitely a premium lifestyle brand for sure. And I hope to hop in and do some of that coverage on their gear later as well. But they represented well, had all their stuff, nice booth. All right, Sonnets, that's a CI audio company, and everything looked good there. I don't have any new news for them, unfortunately. All right, so let's move on to this next little block here.
you know who I didn't see there?
Who's that?
Bose.
No Bose.
They have
Absolutely no Bose.
lifestyle stuff. They have sound bars and all that. I'm surprised they weren't there. At least
Yeah,
in some capacity.
yeah, no, but they were not there at all. No representation. All right. So in this next little square, let's start in the top left. So you got True Audio up there. Now, True Audio, they also had Alta Labs, which is their networking gear. And I just did a video for their Wi-Fi access points, and I'm likely going to switch out all of my switches to them. I need to refresh because I've got an older Ubiquity stack that has a lot of loud fans. I can actually hear a fan in a switch right now in my utility closet, and I hate it. So I'm going to check those out at some point. But really good stuff there. If you don't know True Audio, Alta Labs, Vessel, check those folks out. And then did you see the Cat booth? They had they had to be like 15 or 18-inch white subwoofers mounted on the wall.
I'm so upset because I remember seeing them in 2019, and they had these really badass subwoofers. Remember at the
Uh-huh.
last CD, and yeah, this year I didn't even notice them because I didn't really visit that area.
Right. Yep.
I'm sorry. I did pass the True Audio a couple times, and I did notice Vessel. The folks at Vessel are actually really cool.
They're all really nice. I like them a lot.
Super nice people. But like I said, unfortunately, because of time constraints, I didn't get a chance to visit with people I actually really wanted to sit down with. So that is definitely an opportunity for next year, my friend. And
Right on.
didn't you say that Cedia was talking about making Denver the spot for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think for the next 4 years even, it's gonna be Denver. So good
It's a
for
it's a
us.
good venue. It's a
Local.
good venue, man. It's a
Yeah,
good.
that's
It's
yeah,
a nice convention center. It's a good place. Yeah, I like it.
absolutely,
Good for
absolutely.
us because we live here.
Yep. Now, if we keep coming down, to 3901 Barco Residential, this for me was my favorite booth of the entire show. Right? This one I love. It was awesome. It's not necessarily the best demo or the best, but when I just checked them out, it was my favorite. They had a full video wall playing, and they were doing the quasi behind the screen speakers for the LCR. So, you can't put a speaker behind a panel television, so you had to find some other way to make it feel like the speakers are behind a AT screen. So they do a left pair, top and bottom, to make it sound like it's coming from the middle behind the screen, a center pair, and then a right pair. And I thought the demo was absolutely stunning. And I think this is what the future holds for a lot of rooms that want to do, um, you know, larger than 100-inch screens. I think
Mhm.
100 up to 100 inches will be the single panel kind of television that you buy from Samsung or LG or whoever. But once you get up to like 120, 130, 140-inch screens that are not projection, it's going to be panels, and you're going to be doing speakers like this. So I think this is the wave of the future, and it was super impressive to me. Did you
Well,
check those out?
I think I didn't have a chance to actually do a demo because everybody was just pining over this thing and taking up all the real estate over there. But so every time I'd pass by, like just like that time I saw you there, remember when I creepily massaged your arm? It was just packed. It was packed to the brim. So I hope for next year, Barco upgrades to possibly an enclosed demo room, and then has the Yip Yap and Chatty Chat outside, because I think that kind of took away from the experience. I don't know if they were anticipating such a positive response, but I'll be honest, that spot, that Barco commanded the attention of a lot of that show. So I hope, like I said, hope for next year, upgrade, get an enclosed room, make it bigger, better, and because I think the screen was beautiful, the setup was beautiful. I think that's a huge opportunity for them to come back even stronger next year and give people the opportunity to individually experience that sound.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. All right, for the rest of this section, Airzone, 2N, Lifeline Corporation, Blackwire, Rosewater, Progressive Screens, Pixel Vault, Protective Enclosure Company. Those I didn't really spend any time at. Bright Vault either. So those I don't have any comments on. Anything from you, Mike, on any of those? They didn't kind of hit my radar of stuff that I wanted to look at
Yeah.
directly.
Once again, I'll definitely focus more on the smaller booths next year for sure.
Right on. All right, so now this next set here up with Wisdom all the way down through Draper. Uh, so Wisdom Audio, I didn't even set foot in there. Um, I did check out Procella, and I thought Procella was really nice. They have released a new processor. It's going to be in the $7,500 range, and it'll do, I think, 16 channels if I remember correctly. So that was pretty cool. Mike, did you see Procella or Wisdom?
Mm-mm.
Right on. And so then there's Audio Quest and Golden Ear. Audio Quest, I know, has they had a press release come across not too long ago with a handful of new AV power conditioner surge protectors. But other than that, I don't really have anything of note for those folks. And then I didn't visit Surgex or Kloss or Lucifer Lighting, Datacom, Magna, or WISA. Revox. But the other two, I think, to talk about for the heavy hitters in this area were L Acoustic Creations and Macintosh. Did you check out the Macintosh?
Oh yeah, of course, because they were paired up with obviously the Macintosh group controls a lot of different properties, and one is Sonus Faber, and they had their Maserati out there with the Sonus
Yeah,
Faber. Apparently, it's a really interactive sound system in the car where you can really tune the sound, and man, I wish I could have heard it, the actual sound in the car, but. I did see Macintosh's Tower of Subwoofers, which was really cool. That was one
yeah,
product they just released.
cool. Right on. But yeah, out of the rest of those, You know, I
You were
I
over at L Acoustics yesterday, weren't you?
yeah, I was gonna say that out of all the rest of them, L Acoustics, I stopped by, and I've always really liked L Acoustics. So they have roots kind of in live sound. So a lot of people use their stuff as small. I don't want to call it PA systems because it's not really like they're going out and just play music on it. But you know, performers will carry an L Acoustics set with them and perform using that as their speakers.
Mhm.
They have their stuff now as full home theater and outdoor music and everything. And they have in wall capabilities now, whereas before they only had floor standing. I will say that they win the award for the loudest demo. It was very loud, but it was very good. And it sounded very live when you listen to it. So
Nice.
big thumbs up to those folks. And they have a really cool 16 channel amplifier that they use to power all of their theater demo with, and that's brand new. It just came out. So if you're looking for some cool amplifier technology or speaker technology that's in a smaller form factor, check those guys out. And they also have a nice 10-inch in-wall subwoofer. Okay, now let's go over to the square just to the left of that. You know, that's got Cedia up in the top left and the RTI in the bottom right. Any of those jump out to you, Mike, as things that you want to cover off on? Did you check out
Um,
Harman or Josh AI or
I
Focal?
did check out Harmon. I didn't actually listen to their demo room. Time constraints once again. I really did want to because I know JBL has some nice stuff. Um, the Focal, of course, we all heard the big old speakers there. Those were really nice. And the Lenbrook had their right below that. Lenbrook had their booth as well, which I checked out, but never didn't really talk to anybody from there. Um, so yeah, I think that was a nice, that was an active little square right there. That was a lot of stuff going on, and the Savant, of course, the Savant's crazy display. So yeah, it's some cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me in this square, you know, I didn't stop by Ice or Somfy. Savant, I walked by and took a look at. You know, they have control systems and that kind of stuff, and they're doing some panel TVs and very nice pieces. I had scheduled some time with Harman, but I had to cancel that one because I had something else come up that I had to deal with. But Harman, that's JBL. You know, always really good stuff. And you see them at hi-fi shows as well. The Massimo was interesting because Massimo, uh, you know, that's the new owner for a conglomeration of audio, and their booth was a little bit smaller, but it was still very nice. Just Video Walls, I stopped by and spent a lot of time there, and I'm actually going to release a video about Just Video Walls because I really do think that that type of wall television technology is the future, and I wanted to cover that a little more in depth. So keep your eyes out for that. Beautiful displays. Yeah, Lynbrook, you know, stop by there. You know, they didn't really have any big demos or anything going on, but you could see all of their gear. It was very nice. You know, nothing to comment on with Severson or Elk. Although I used to have Elk security panel years ago. They make really good stuff. Focal, they had their Grand Utopias there. Um, and I have a pair of their new Thiva number ones that I'm going to make a video about at some point down the line one day if I ever get around to it. But great gear. And then I don't think there's really any other standouts for me that I want to talk about other than Josh AI. They're a local Colorado um, home control tool that uses AI, and they're getting more into the really having a conversation with your house kind of thing. So it's going to be like this Iron Man. You walk into the house and you're like, Jarvis, do this, you know, and you know it can do all these things with very
Instead of
intelligent
instead of
prompt.
Jarvis, it's Josh.
Yeah, exactly. Joshish. Yeah. But good stuff. All right, now we're going to get into some of the heavy hitters here, and we're going to do this Trinov audio square with modern form fans in the other side. And the only one that I really have anything to comment on would be the Trinov demo. And Mike, what did you think? Did you get actually a chance to sit down and listen to that?
Yeah. You were over there, you know, recording reactions to people experiencing Mad VR. I remember that,
Yeah,
and I did get a chance to experience. Like I said, I got a chance to experience the Heavy Three, which in my view, the Heavy Three was Trinov and two others we're going to cover here soon. So Trinov is part of the Heavy Three. They had a very impressive demo room with this new bass technology that really works. So granted, they had 24 subwoofers going, and to me that might be cheating, because not a lot of people have 24 or have at least the budget or the space for 24 subwoofers. But it was an impressive demo. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And uh Cindo was there, Mad VR was there. Trinov obviously featuring their new waveforming technology, which is it's like a double bass array on steroids, meaning that you put speaker subs in the front and the back of the room, and you don't put them in kind of some of the other positions that people use nowadays. But the idea is that they can really control that bass as it comes across, and they kind of absorb it in the back. Storm Audio has a version of technology that's very similar as well. But this is the brand new Trinov stuff. The Cindo gear sounded great. Mad VR was absolutely on point with the video processing. I don't recall who the projector or the screen was, but it looked very, very good. And
I think it might have been Seymour.
Yeah, and
Seymour
I have a Seymour.
Seymour was really good.
Yeah, I've got a Seymour in my room. I use that myself. Their AT woven material.
Bro, you don't deserve a Seymour.
I probably don't. Not with the projector I have anyway. But that's another struggle.
Hey, that's an opportunity for one of these companies to be the featured projector in the Jiles McCoy Theater.
That's right. Just somebody who makes one that's quiet, because I don't have a projection room, and I can't put like a barcode that sounds like that makes a beautiful picture, but it's loud and it has to go into a separate room and shoot through the glass. But one day when I grow up, I'll upgrade. But yeah,
Hey,
Trinov was awesome.
Did you think the waveforming logo looked a little bit like the Walkman logo? Did you notice that?
I can't even remember what the Walkman logo looked like.
No. I looked at when they put the waveforming logo on there. I'm like, man, that looks a lot like the Walkman, the newer Walkman logo, the little W with the dot. We'll have to do side-by-side comparisons on that eventually.
All right. So let's move on to this next square to the left. And you've got Ring, Ava, Totem, ADI, Nice, Merito, and Leica. So just a couple of things here. Leica was showing their ultra short throw projector. So that's kind of what they're in for. Ring, I don't know that they had anything new, maybe some incremental changes in cameras. For me, of this area, I really liked Ava. They have a new remote control, and I have a short that I've posted about that already, and I am super excited by this remote. I call it a replacement for the Logitech stuff, although it's not really a direct replacement, because one, a dealer has to install it, and two, it costs way more than the other stuff. Is like, to get in with a full set, it's like $1,800. So it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but it's absolutely gorgeous and super amazingly cool. And I want one with a passion that is kind of crazy. I mean, it's really, really good. So check them out. And it's called the Ava Home Cinema Remote, and it comes out, I think, next month. So it's almost here. Mike, any comment on any of these from your point of view?
No, $1,800 for a remote is insane. That's insanity. Sorry.
It is insanity, but man,
that's a pleasure. That's a pleasure for the rich right there.
So I will have it one way or another. It will be mine. Okay, let's move up to this next square that has a launch pad in the purple to the top, and then underneath that, so yeah, Yeelight, Aspire lighting, color beam lighting, a whole bunch of small ones that are also lighting, and then some smaller companies, Firewalla, Zapper Box, Light and Shade Solutions, Advancing. So for me, there wasn't really much that I took a look at closely here. Most of the stuff is outside of my realm of things, particularly since it's like almost all lighting. Did you have any comments on any of these?
Yeah, I think you should get into lighting.
I don't. Maybe it's just
hey, you have a theater room, man, that needs like some ambient lights and some cool
not really.
The theater dimming and all that stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
If I were doing new construction, then I would be all in on the lighting, and I would likely look at the Aspire. Maybe, I don't know, but at this point, I don't have a lot of need for that. All right, now, other than the food pavilion, and the food was not very good, so just FYI, next year, have some more better options. Come on, Cedia, let's do better.
Hey,
Um,
the cafeteria pizza, was pretty good.
yeah.
You
All
had
right.
2 slices.
All right, I'm not going to call out everybody in this next square, but the folks that I spent some time with, or at least I thought were cool, CC'd was there, and that's the huge unfolding television. And all they had was their big TV, and I don't even know if they actually unfolded it and folded it. I never saw it in action, but I've seen videos of it in action. It's pretty cool. Um, and then, there's a lot of blinds here. Digital projection was there. Powerhouse Alliance was there. I did talk with Ubiquity, and they make great networking gear. And I actually run almost all Ubiquity in my house now, although that's probably going to move out as I switch over to more Alta Labs for their stuff. Netgear was there, and I stopped and talked with them a bit. They have what they're calling AV specific networking gear, although I don't know what that means because I've been in IT for 25, 30 years now, and networking gear is networking gear. And, it's just, it's not, that it feels like it's almost like the cable argument, like, oh, our cables will make it work better. And they're like, oh, our networking gear will make, no, it's just networking gear.
Jiles, you mean you don't believe in network switches improving the audio quality of your system?
Not at all. No, no. And not even, no.
Blasphemer.
I know, but that's those are the folks that I stopped by and looked at from this big square.
Well,
Any
that was kind of
comments?
that was kind of like your nerd area, right? Like that's your area of expertise is IT. So I think that area kind of encompassed all that. For me, I have no idea left from right, up from down when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's why actually when we passed by Netgear, I was asking you about that. I'm like, hey, does that make a difference? You're like, no, this is all the same shit. So
As long as it
what
works.
is what is Ubiquity?
Ubiquity, it's just another company like Netgear, and they're just a
Oh, okay.
competitor with Netgear. They make switches and Wi-Fi access points, and it's a really
Okay.
Ubiquity is a great company.
So
There's
You like Alta Audio though, right? Or
no,
not
I like
Alta Audio,
Alta Labs.
Alta Labs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they're
There is
they're
an
back.
Alta Audio, but it's
There is
nothing to
totally
do with
different.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, they're part of the True Audio group that we talked about before. Um,
Yeah.
and I think so. And Alta is they're brand new, right? So they just started releasing stuff. Ubiquity's been doing this forever,
Hmm.
and so Ubiquity has a very mature product stack. So if you want a product stack that's been around longer, then Ubiquity is great. Netgear is great. Alta is kind of the new kid on the block, and I'm giving them a chance, and I'm using their Wi-Fi 6 access points in my home now, and they're working great. In this square, there were others. So there's Island Routers were there, and they're a new startup with routers. 6.5 Audio is in there, and I stopped by, and I'll have a video about 6.5 Audio. They're doing some in-wall speakers and some like walk path speakers, and they're an offshoot of Memphis Audio from Car Audio World. So if anybody's interested in that kind of stuff, just keep your eyes peeled for the 6.5 Audio video. And then there was another, where are they at? There's another company doing networking gear in here that I missed. Aruba Instance in there. So Aruba used to be corporate only kind of networking gear, but they've gone down to the SMB, even what is that? Home office, I don't know. There's some term for home office as well. But their stuff's good as well. But yeah, and Quickset, I walked by and waved at them. And yeah, I'm thinking about doing new locks throughout the whole house, and they're high on my list of ones to consider. All right, I think we're going to move on from these folks, and let me.
The nerd area took way too long.
Yeah, then come on now. Yeah. Maybe it did take too long.
I'll tell you what. While you reposition yourself, you know who didn't show up and should have?
Who is that?
Klipsch. Klipsch had a room in 2019 that was pretty cool.
Oh
Um,
yeah, they didn't have a full demo theater. Yeah,
they didn't have really anything. I just saw them paired up with some CI stuff. That was it, or outdoor stuff
that's
or
right. They
something.
had like 3 little sound bars.
Yeah, it was just not cool.
Yeah, very
And
small.
I think Dolby and THX should have made an appearance in some capacity, even just for presence. You know what I'm
So
saying?
THX was there. Um, they had likely the smallest presence that they could possibly have. So they were. Let me pull this back up.
Weren't
Were
they with Barco?
they were at Barco Residential, and I
Yeah.
got a chance to talk with some of their folks there. And for people that don't know, I'm a humongous THX fan. I love THX. I love everything that they do. There's a lot of nostalgia for me with THX, so I was very happy to see them there. And they have a new line of cables coming out, THX branded cables. They're working in association with a company that they've certified in the past with cables. And they're going to be very affordable. And I think pre-orders are up for those now. So if you are looking for some cables, check those out. And then I have another company that I'll talk about when I get to their booth that's doing some cables and a home control system that's pretty interesting as well. Good stuff all around. But yeah, I didn't see anything
Yeah,
from
I
Dolby.
wish I wish I could have talked to the guy from THX. I did go to Barco specifically looking for the guy from THX just to chat with him about some cool stuff. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to see him. But yeah, I wish Dolby would have been there. I think Dolby would have been a big presence. But yeah, Dolby, Klipsch. I'm trying to think who else didn't. Whatever. But those ones were the ones I actually missed.
Right on. Okay, so now we're going to move on to and we'll move through these last 2 corners here. So we're done with half of the floor now. We're on the left side, and we're going to start coming down. And there are 3 demo rooms on this side that we can start talking about. And I think the 2 that are the most important are Sound Room 10, which was the Grimani audio with Storm Audio, Seymour, and Kaleidescape, and then the Alcon's audio room, which was they were paired with Trinov. So, Mike, what do you think about these 2 rooms?
Oh, these are the other two of the three heavy
3 big
hitters that,
ones.
yeah, the three big ones that I was talking about a little bit earlier. So Alcon's audio was one that impressed me so much in 2019. I thought they stole the show. I thought they absolutely were best in show. Um, so I was expecting a lot from them as well. And we got to see our good friend Ortizi, which was cool.
Yep.
And see the Sound Room 10, I was smart enough to sneak into the sneak into the show at like 8 in the morning to meet up with you. So, and I'm glad I did because that was an incredible experience in that room. So, thanks Brett Bjorkquist for including me in there, and I had a fantastic time with that. Before the end of this stream, we're gonna have to reveal our favorite best in show, right?
Yeah, we can talk about some best in show stuff here at the end too. So everybody that's watching, make sure you stick around for that one. But it's really tough this year. I mean, it's tough. All right, so I'll give some thoughts on the area that we can see on the screen right now.
Oh,
So
dude, I totally forgot to visit MBL. Did they actually have a live demo, or was it just showing off their pretty
no, it's a
speakers?
sound room, and they have all their big speakers in there. I
Oh,
didn't listen to it. I've listened to it in the past, and it's
yeah,
always the same.
yeah. It's a good speaker. You know, it
Yeah,
sounds good.
it's always the same, but obviously they make a lot of money selling them because they can have these huge sound rooms.
I didn't even know they had a huge sound room.
Yeah, yeah, they're there every year. So yeah,
I,
make
I
sure you check them
remember
out next time.
them. I remember them last year, and I saw them in passing, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go check them out. But you know how that works.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah. So Alcon's Audio, one of my favorite speaker manufacturers, bar none, forever. Love them, and the people
Mhm.
there, outstanding. They were with Trinov, and just really good. Alcon's uses their own amplification for their speakers. Their amps have a big eyeball, which is pretty cool. Great room. Seymour, uh, like you said, Brett Bjorkquist, awesome. Well done. I'm thank you so much for putting this together. Some of my very Paul Muto associated with this, Chris Seymour, all the folks from Storm Audio, just really great people. Uh, eh, really good stuff. Just love it. Amazing. Uh, Now I didn't stop by DSI. I talked with the Rise marketing folks a little bit, but they're their marketing company, and they told me if I ever needed to wrap my car, they would be ready to help get that done. I saw Pulse Gallo, so they have the little uh, orb speakers, so it's kind of cool, and I looked at those. Storm Audio was there. Now Storm Audio didn't have any kind of demo or anything. They were showing their boxes, but they were right across from Alcon's, and right across from Seymour, which is the Brett Room, Sound Room 10, which is where they are being demoed and featured. So if you wanted to hear a Storm, you just go across. And the special thing that they were doing this time is they were not using XLR transport, so they were doing all AES, whatever it is, not Dante, but a slightly different flavor of audio over IP between the processor and the amplification, which is really cool. And
So that's really nuts to me. Like I never knew that was even a thing. So
it's totally a thing. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. You just have one cable that comes out of the back of the processor, goes into a network switch, and then the network switch cables with Ethernet, down to each of your switches, and then you're not doing all these XLR cables. So that was really cool.
what do you feel is the advantage of doing it that way as
Uh,
opposed to XLR?
you don't pick up all the noise and stuff potentially. I think there's going to be bigger advantages for people that put amplifiers in different places other than a
So
rack.
you feel it's like a long run advantage type thing.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's going to be more and more relevant down the line. Eventually, I think everything will just run over IP, and maybe even HDMI will go away. So you'll have a network switch, and that'll be the heart of everything. And then every device plugs into that, and then your AV system is this big network,
Hey,
right? So
maybe we should get ahead of the game and come out with a home theater audiophile quality Ethernet cable.
um, well, I think that Netgear is trying to get ahead of the line with the switching, because they're like, this is our AV switch, right?
Yeah.
I think they see the future, but I think eventually, HDMI will go away, and you'll have you'll have 100 gig connection coming out of your Kaleidescape into this network switch, right? And then you'll have 100 gig coming out of your processor, your Storm or whatever, into this network switch. So everything will just be IP, right? And then you get rid of
Mhm.
all XLR cables, and it's one cable, right?
And then just copper from the amplification to the speakers.
It'll be fiber optics in the long run.
Really?
Yeah, in the
I
long
think
run,
so.
it'll all be fiber. Yeah, it'll all be fiber. This is kind of like first gen. All right, well, it's not even first gen. It's the technology's been around forever, but the Storm doesn't support fiber yet, or twin ax. For folks that know what that is, that's a cable that's got the optics on either side built in, so you just plug into an optical transceiver port. That stuff all come.
Wait, so you
But
think from amplifier to speaker it'll be fiber optics? Won't they
no,
do
no, no,
the?
no. From amplifier to speaker, it'll be speaker cable,
Okay.
because you're carrying it. That's like low voltage kind of stuff.
No, that's what I was asking. If it was going to be copper from amplifier to speaker.
Oh, amplifier to speaker, that there, yeah, you can't do that over optical. That's electricity kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I was
that
going to
will,
say you
yeah,
surprised me there.
yeah. But all the data connections, those I think
Mhm.
will all turn to optical eventually, right? Because you'll have to have really big bandwidth for the HDMI side of the house, because there's a lot of bandwidth there, and you'll want to do that over optical. But that's my Giles predicts the future of AV. All data connections inside of a system will turn to optical Ethernet, and every home theater will have a network switch, and maybe they'll build it into AVRs down the line.
Mhm.
But you'll be connecting everything with optical instead of HDMI. Because
Cool.
if you look at HDMI now for long runs, it's fiber.
Hmm.
It's HDMI, and they just connect it with fiber, right? But they
Yeah.
put HDMI ends on it. Eventually, it'll just all turn into Ethernet, right? Okay, so other folks in this section, I didn't go to Brone Newtone. We talked about Storm. Some small ones here that I don't know anything about. American Recorder, Verosa Lighting, Hominy Electrics, Repure. I don't know. Earthquake was there, and I see Earthquake every time I go, but I never really stop by their stuff. I don't know. I don't really ever. I don't know any of the folks at Earthquake. Meyer Sound. Meyer Sound last year, I think it was, they were with Kaleidescape and they did the speakers there in their demo. Meyer Sound stuff is awesome, really good. Now let's talk about B&O, Bang & Olufsen. This, every year, I say, I wish I could buy all of their stuff and put in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put their stuff in every room, everywhere. Of course, I can't because I can't afford it. But just their Bio Lab, what is it? 8?
The Bill Lab, I think it's 90 or 9.
80,
The big floor standing speakers. It's
the ones that look
ridiculous.
like a Dalek.
Yeah, probably one of the best sounding speakers I've ever heard. Just a beautiful frequency response. This beautiful, like, you got 300, almost three, no, almost like 180 degree or 360-degree sound. I mean, you could stand on the side of it and still get a beautiful experience. It's the ultimate entertainment speaker, tons of use case scenarios, but it does have a $135,000 price tag. So that might, exclude a few people.
1 or 2, including me. But B&O, if you guys listen to this, just know I am your biggest fan and I love your stuff. And this goes all the way back. I can remember looking at the B&O CD player, the vertical one that you could put in, is just your industrial design is the best. And even my son, he's inspired by your stuff because he wants to be an industrial designer when he grows up. And he's like, look, Dad, you need things to be functional, but it needs to be beautiful too. And that is, he gets it, and he's bought in. So if you need a designer, let me know. He's only 14, but he'll work for cheap.
Yeah, I think B&O's call to fame is their design. It's gorgeous. It's incredible. It's and that's what you pay for. Essentially, you pay for quality, sound quality, and design with them. So,
yeah. All right, the last 2 I'm going to call out on
SVS, dude. SVS, of course.
SVS.
Nick Brown, you're the man.
You're the man.
You're the man.
And I've seen a lot of subwoofers, but I still just want to take and put 4 PB16s in my room, right? And
just call it a day. Just call it a complete day, dude.
Just call it. I know everybody's out there. They'll buy this 21 or buy this 24 or go buy this Cindo 32 or 50. But those PB16s are just freaking phenomenal. And I think there's some secrets that we can't talk about SVS for the future. They're always developing new stuff. And I know there's going to be new things coming out, and I'm super excited to see and hear the new stuff. But the new thing they have this time out, they have their powered bookshelf speakers, right? Well, those are now Rune ready.
Nice.
So I'm going to release a video talking about their booth, and we talk a little bit about those speakers being Rune ready in that video. Again, this is all stuff that has to be edited at some point in the near future to get posted. But very excited about that. And that's available now. So if you own their powered bookshelf speakers or their streaming device, their amplified streamer, that is a Rune target.
Hey, also. Did you know that the little baby subwoofer that they have can drop down to 20 hertz?
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
the little dual 8.
Yeah, 20 hertz.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
That's perfect for like an apartment where they want some deep bass but can't have a PB16, like done.
So they SVS will be winning one of my awards this year when I announce my award winners later. So I'm not going to say which one it is, but they are going to get an award. And then the last one. So OSD was there, but I didn't stop by OSD. And then Kaleidescape, another brand that I fanboy for a lot.
OSD had a prototype Carver sub that they're going to be releasing. I guess Carver allowed them to, or I don't know if he licensed the name or something. But yeah, they had a little mini, just like the SVS one, a little mini 8 with Carver on it, and I'm like, wow, that's a blast from the past right there.
That really is.
I do like Bob Carver a lot. A really nice guy. But yeah, Kaleidescape, big thing that everybody uses that.
And I have the new Kaleidescape remote control. So this obviously is not a high-end, super expensive remote, but this is it. This is the new Kaleidescape remote. And thank you so much, Kaleidescape. They gave this to me, and I really appreciate it. And I will be featuring this in a video. I'm not going to do a full review video over this Kaleidescape remote, but as I do things, I'll show off the functionality of it. And thank you, Kaleidescape.
Kaleidescape's like we got to give him something, you know. Like he fangirls over this stuff all the time. So
They should have given me like an 88 terabyte storage array, but
that
so
would have, I think that'd be fitting for the amount of
what I really want is their new claim to fame this time is the new solid state storage. So SSD servers is really cool, and everybody's been waiting for them to start to move away from spinning disk, and now they have done that. So you can get SSD storage for Kaleidescape, and it makes everything they do better, right? So they split out storage from the server or from the player. So the server storage and the player are separate, and the player is snappier now. Not that mine is slow, because I've got the older style where everything's consolidated. It's totally fine, but it's even faster. But the server, now that they've updated to SSD, they can stream it out to more endpoints. So if you have a house with 10 bedrooms and you want to stream 10 things at a time, you can do that. And then it also downloads faster and processes faster. So everything that it did, it now just does better, which is really cool. And then I don't have anything to comment with Atlas, ASHB, Linux, Hangman, and Fujimi on the left side.
Food Pavilion 2, that's where we ate our pizza.
That's right, Food Pavilion 2, where the pizza is not good. All right, now let's scroll down.
I kind of liked it because it did remind me of like legit, cafeteria people when we were kids. But hey, I used to like that strange stuff. So
right on. Okay, we are moving down. Let me see if I can get this centered up where everybody can see it. Okay, all right, good enough. So we are now down to this next section here, and at the top you've got Future US, and these I don't know anything about. Well, I do know about Power Shades, and they make awesome shades, and I actually have their gear in my home, in my breakfast nook area. Great stuff. I want to do another video for them about their shades, and I was going to do a video with the Bond Bridge that I have, but if you have the Bond Bridge Pro, that's really easy to interface with different shades companies. But the basic Bond is a little bit more difficult because you have to do IR learning with the remote controls and stuff. And I keep looking at that, and it's like a daunting task to do all the IR training for that. So maybe I can get a different controller and show the setup for that piece. But man, I'm telling you, these Power Shades, outstanding. I mean, they have completely changed the way that we're able to use our breakfast area, and it's amazing. And when I can get the automation in with a controller so that they automatically close in the evening, open in the morning, and that kind of stuff, and maybe even associate that with temperature and that kind of thing, it's going to be a game changer. But I love their stuff.
This video has been sponsored by Power Shades.
Man, another one that I'm fanboying for. I can't help it. FX Luminaire, I don't know. Future US, I don't know. Specialized Shading. Sorry, guys, I don't know your stuff. Cutco, Racketeers, Meljack.
Oh, dude, Cutco. We know Cutco.
Who's Cutco Gifting? I don't know who they are.
Dude, you don't remember Cutco? The knife sets, the knife. Yeah, like they were like one of the first. I don't know if I would call them multi-level marketing, but they had people that would go out door to door and sell the knives to everybody.
No, did they have like
Cutco.
The videos on television, like, get this set, but that's not all.
Yes,
also, the low price, you get 48 cups at a car.
Dude. Okay. Yes, that's them.
Cutco. All
right. But yeah, they used to do that door to door. I thought it was pretty cool.
All right. So Midlight Connected. If you want to talk about any of these, let me know, because I don't really know much about. Homeowners Marketing Services, Juke Audio, I Own This Incorporated, Bad Dog Tools, Vestaboard. Oh, I checked out Vestaboard. This is really cool. So those the displays that have the pieces of plastic that flip down and go flip, 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 and it goes, and it'll show a number, and then it'll go flip, 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 and then they'll change to like a word. And it's like pieces of plastic with the letter on it, and they're on a spinner, and they just spin around to do things. And they used to use it like as tickers back in the day for the stock market. They're really cool. They're super cool. And the Vestaboard, these things, they're like $2 or $3 grand. but they're so, I want to get one and like put back behind me or something, right? And have it like always show my current subscriber count or something like that, or maybe how many people are watching the show. So you can interface it using Zapier, and it'll display whatever you want it to. And they're just amazing. Come on, Vestaboard, send me one. And you're super cool. I was really impressed with their stuff. I love it. It's really cool. Sorry.
This video has been sponsored by Vestaboard.
Vestaboard. Okay, Lithe Audio, Speaker Stat, Powercast, Jellyfish Lighting, Living in Place, Delos, KNX, Dayton Audio. Yeah, I've got Dayton Audio stuff, but I didn't visit their booth, nor did I go to AutoSlider Amped.
Yeah, I think Dayton only had like a few amps there or something. I know I glanced at them, but I didn't really stop by, only because, like I said, time constraints from earlier. So possibly next time, but yeah.
All right, now we're into some heavy hitters here. So Ram commercial. Okay, I didn't go to Ram. Paradigm. Did you get a chance to stop by Paradigm?
Yeah, that's the Martin Logan spot. They
Okay, I didn't stop by. Tell us about it, because I know our friends from Martin Logan are there, and I apologize that I didn't make it by, but hey, Mike, tell us about it.
Yeah, the Martin Logan had its own demo room. I thought demo room was really, really cool for Martin Logan. Probably one of the more, I don't know, I wouldn't want to call it affordable, but it was.
It's not really affordable.
I mean, the speakers themselves are affordable, but the room in and of itself was about an $80,000 room, which was one of the lower priced rooms, so to speak. So, yeah, for what it was, I thought it was great. I thought it sounded pretty good. I saw my buddy, Andrew there from Martin Logan. Great guy. Loved meeting him and loved chatting it up. I didn't get a chance to see any Paradigm stuff, and I know they shared it with one other company. I forgot who it was. I'll have to look at the pictures, but yeah, Paradigm didn't really demo anything. I don't know if they did. I didn't listen to it, but yeah, I was all excited about the Martin Logan demo room, and it definitely hit the mark for that priced kind of equipment. So yeah, great job, great displays and everything. I liked it.
Awesome. Then moving on from there, Simplified Acoustics, HP Products, Vacuum, Simpro, Nippon, Best, Fiber Optics Technology, Vanco, Furian, Straightwire, Bond. So Bond was there, and I was talking about the Bond Bridge before, and that they connect like ceiling fans and masking screens, things that need like IP interface. So they're that IP bridge. The Pro version is the one to get, and I wish I had one of those because it's a lot easier to use. But one day I'm gonna get this Bond bridge to work. I just need to put some time into it. Jonard Tools, Screen Innovations, Vanco, ATI was there.
Really?
Amplifier Technology Incorporated, ATI. And I think it was like two guys sitting in chairs, and I think they had like one amplifier. So not a really big booth.
Good for them.
But they were there. Welcome back, ATI. Glad to see you.
I almost forgot they were even a thing at one point.
That's right. Acoustic Innovations, and then the two heavy hitters in this section, Origin Acoustics and JVC. JVC, of course, super heavy hitter from a projector point of view, likely the best projectors in their class. So before you get up into the big Barco stuff, they're the kind of the top end of the residential market.
It was nice to see the logo still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we remember JVC from the 80s and before,
when they did more stuff.
Yeah, they wrote VHS. I mean, they pretty much cornered that market. But yeah, man, I was happy to see JVC. Origin Acoustics. A lot of CI outdoor stuff. I know our friend Jill was there. I didn't get a chance to say hi to her.
I didn't see her at all. I
saw her a couple times in passing, but people were commanding her attention, so didn't really want to stop by there.
Right on. Yeah, and then Origin. So they've made a lot of good hires, pulling in really good people, and Jill Iskell, I think I'm saying that correct, who used to be with Klipsch, and then whoever bought Klipsch and all those things, but now she's over with them. And then they have a distribution partnership with Velodyne for subwoofers, and I didn't see anything new from Velodyne this time. They still have their DD Plus gear out there
Mhm.
that's from like 1987. It's really aged, but I know they're going to be replacing that at some point in the near future. But I didn't see Mansoor or any of the folks from there, which are also
Oh
really
man,
great
I
people.
really wanted to see Mansoor. He's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
he's a really good guy. He's out of Germany. But Origin Acoustics, well done. They're a very big heavy hitter. All right, now we're going to move down to our next section of map. If I keep clicking on it instead of dragging it, and we're getting close to the end. So we'll start out over here on the left and then move back into the center. So Dirac was there, and I was going to stop by and talk with Dirac. They didn't really have a demo or anything, but that's another one that got by me, and I didn't have a chance to say hi. So Dirac, I apologize. Next time, I'll make sure to get there to talk with you guys. Okay, but there's a lot of stuff. So Dirac, Blue Jean Cables was there. Densmart, JL Audio. Now JL Audio had a bigger room down on the second floor, or the ground floor as they call it.
They weren't doing demos though.
Really,
And I
I didn't stop in. I just walked
and
by
I
and saw it.
thought I thought, man, what an opportunity to have paired with Sony or somebody like that was using other people's speakers to demonstrate the prowess of their subwoofers. So a huge opportunity for next year. If any companies are going to be pairing with other speakers, make sure if you're on the low end, you're pairing with subwoofers that will rumble that room.
Yeah, right on. Densmart Home. I don't know anything about them. Project X360. I think that's project management software. IMCCA, Glow Labs, UCC, Faraday, Clear One, AWOL Vision. They make a lot of ultra short throw projectors and other projectors. They've really made a name for themselves over the last 3 or so years. Aurora Multimedia. I don't know anything about them. And I guess we'll go all the way down through here. So there's Sav Home, Frankie Tech, Televs, ZV, Skybox, Right Tech, Unite Audio, CompTIA, I don't know any of these people. TP Link's another networking gear company, CE Pro Connected Brands. So I don't know any really thing about any of those. That's out of my realm.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Okay, now let's do this big square right here. And this has, again, some of my favorite brands that I fanboy about. And I'm going to start with Samsung because I am one of the biggest Samsung fanboys out there. And I've got a Samsung frame television. My son uses a Samsung laptop. We got a Samsung washer and dryer. And I'm going to be refreshing into lots of Samsung stuff over time. I use a Samsung computer monitor that's in front of me right now. I love Samsung, and they have beautiful televisions. They're doing OLED now. Their micro LED stuff is absolutely stunning. They've got the wall. I cannot say enough about Samsung. Mike, would you also like to sponsor this video?
I have their phone.
Oh, I've got their S23 Ultra as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to stop at Samsung.
Oh, blasphemer!
Yeah. Well, dude, they weren't giving away the notebooks that they did back in 2019. No, they were pretty cool. I did walk through it, but I didn't talk to anybody. Sorry. Maybe next time. But yeah, I love Samsung products. I think they're all really great. I think they're definitely a leader amongst the pack. Um, yeah, yeah. Maybe next time I'll dedicate a little bit more time to Samsung or schedule something out with Samsung. But I thought Hisense was pretty cool.
Oh
Hisense
yeah,
was really cool.
we'll totally get to Hisense. The last thing about Samsung is they were showing off their new 98-inch 8K television. Not that anybody needs 8K because 8K is not a thing. It's nice that it'll do it, but it's not a thing. But it was gorgeous, super gorgeous. All right, Snap One, Salamander. I used to have Salamander Designs furniture. Future Automation, Russ Sound. Russ Sound makes good whole home audio. URC, Universal Remote Control, control system. Lucetta, I don't know any of these. Another networking company, it looks like Easy Key, eKey USA, Montreal Swidget, don't know. One Vision Resources, Jet Built, D-Box. All right. So D-Box is the furniture shaking stuff, right? It kind of makes like the 4D kind of thing. And they were there with JMR Furniture. And man, let me tell you what, they have some nice sofas.
Yeah.
Jamar stuff is, mwah, that's not that I don't like my chairs, but I just, yeah, that's that I think that would be an upgrade, especially if you can get the D-Box technology in there. And then Hisense. Now, what were you going to say about them?
Really nice setup. Beautiful displays. Um, Definitely kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest, because I always knew they existed. I just didn't know they were going to be a heavy hitter. And to be honest, just the quality alone and the price point, the value proposition has catapulted them to, in my opinion, one of my favorites. So,
They're heavy into ultra short throw and micro LED on the panel side, and
mm,
their micro LEDs, they have I think four different lines of televisions, just like a model 6, model 7, and model 8, and then a pro model. The pro
mm,
model is absolutely bonkers. It's kind of pricey. The model 6, the low end stuff, is just like a television, and that's how they described it. They're like, it's a good TV. But when you get into the 7s and 8s, they are gorgeous, right?
mm.
It's really good. And I would not be shy to run a Hisense anywhere in my house. It's really good stuff. And they have a 100-inch coming out, not in their Pro model, but I think their Model 8, 98-inch micro
Yeah,
LED.
I honestly, I really wish TCL would have
Oh,
showed
yeah,
up.
it'd be nice. TCL, so folks don't know about TCL. TCL is humongous. They do televisions, projectors, they do cell phones, they do everything. Computer monitors. TCL is humongous. It's just not super big in the USA. And they make high-end stuff too. But Hisense, yeah, I agree. Really, really good. Really, really awesome. Um, and we'll move around. Environmental lights, POE Wit, Monteview, Black Nova, Marshall, Skyworth, and a word that I don't know how to say, Portal IO, Canto. I use a Canto mount in one of my bedrooms. It was really, really nice stuff. And I don't know any of these other people though. So any other comments on any of these before we move on?
No, we're good.
All right. Now we're drawn to the end. We have one little tiny section left to talk about, and we will have covered the show, other than downstairs. And we do need to talk about downstairs because there's at least one room that I need to call out. But we've got Future Ready Solutions, Crestron. That's a big control company, and Miss Crestron was there. So there's a person with I think a Instagram channel she's like Miss Crestron or something, and I saw her, which was kind of cool. Planar, they make panel televisions or panel wall displays, not really TVs. Really good stuff. Leon Speakers, they're kind of a custom speaker CI installer company. Good stuff. Legrand AV, K Array speakers, Wallsmart, Amina, Ergo, Dish, Abson, MSC Audio, FaceTech. Now they had a room downstairs, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Clara Shades and Digital Signage Federation. So not a lot for me in this section. Anything for you that stood out?
No, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to really browse that section.
Right on. So I don't know if I have the second floor map available here. I don't see a way to.
Well, there's only a few down one
Yeah.
corridor
So
that were.
let's talk about that. So this was the main expo hall, but downstairs there were, I think, maybe 6 rooms or something like that. And we talked about JL Audio was down there. Epson was down there, and I checked out their stuff. The great thing about Epson is if you can get an invite to their room, and it's invite only, they always have food. so
I'll
so
have to remember that for next year.
or if you can schedule a meeting with them at around noontime, it's really nice because they had like this nice brisket sandwich and a ham sandwich and fries and stuff, and sodas and other things. So
Nice.
Yeah, and I have a few friends there that I see every time, and they are the most awesome people. And they're top end the I think it's the LS 12,000 projector. It retails at $5,000, and I would upgrade to that in a heartbeat. It's not as good as the $30,000 JVC, but at $5,000, it is the absolute leader at the price range for projection. That is the one. If you've got that kind of money, and you're looking for a projector long throw mounted in the back of the room, that's the one. Okay, outside of that, uh, the room that I think was most important for me was the Phase Tech MSE darts room that also had Acurus and Aragon. And I know you got to
Yeah,
stop by there.
I thought, yeah, I got the full demo, and I thought that was fantastic. I thought
It was
Acurus did a
fantastic.
fantastic job with the amplification. I thought the speakers were nice. The speakers were nice. You know,
Mhm.
they weren't super crazy, but I thought that the way they positioned them, the surround sound was immersive. There was good bass, good punch. I liked it. I liked it a lot. The room was great.
I liked it too, and so they were using an Acurus Muse 16 channel processor for their demo, and then they were using the darts system. And
Hmm.
what's really cool is like their LCR, that it's a three-way speaker, and it was three discrete channels of information coming off the amplifier, right? So off of the processor, off of the Acurus Muse, which is what I use, by the way. I'm an Acurus fan. There's another fanboy company for you. The left channel would come out and go into the amp. The amp is a full audio processor, so it crossed over that incoming audio signal and into three different discrete channels. Those got amplified and then sent out to the speaker. So
Hmm.
those speakers were true three-way, tri-amplified with crossover, electronic crossover up in front of the before the amplification layer. So there was like a billion channels of audio in there, and those darts smart amplifiers were doing all that. And I thought that was
Good.
really cool. And that whole room is only like 40 grand,
Hmm.
which is, I mean, it's not cheap. It's the cost of a car. But if you want a high end, not like Trinov high end where your processor is 25 grand just by itself, but that room is outstanding and it sounded great, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
So
Um,
we got one thing we got to do, Giles.
yeah,
We
all
got
right,
to
let's do it.
decide. We have to decide out of the heavy three,
Oh
who was
God,
your favorite?
that's let's pull this map out. All right. So the heavy three, the big three sound rooms were Trinov with Ascendo Audio. All right. Then there was the Sound Room 10, Brett Bjorkquist with Gramani, Storm, Seymour,
And
Kaleidescape,
oh,
row
and
one
the
seating. I don't want to leave those
yeah, the
guys
cheer
out.
guy,
Row one
the
seating. I
cheer
don't want to
guy,
leave you out. Really great chairs. Really,
super good chairs,
really
dude.
good chairs.
Probably
Uh,
best chairs in show, I'd say, easily best
uh,
chairs in show.
So I didn't realize that Epson had a Lumigen that wasn't working in there. That they might have been the only room that was using Lumigen because MadVR has consumed that entire market, and Lumigen
Mhm.
is almost completely dead now. I think, at least from my point of view, they
Well,
are.
apparently it was since they didn't get it to work.
Yeah, it didn't work anymore. And so Mr. Lind or Lindy is asking how was the bass in the three major rooms. So two using
Here we
DBA
go.
and then
Here we
Storm with
go. Here
art.
we
And
go.
we're talking about that now, right? Um, all of the rooms were great, right? And the Alcon's
Agreed.
room used
Agreed.
Trinov, the Ascendo room used Trinov, then the
And
Gramani
Trinov
room,
used Trinov.
yeah, Trinov used, and the Gramani room used Storm, and they were all
Mhm.
audio over IP. All the rooms were great. Walter did a great job tuning the Alcon's room. Um, Man, I don't know if I want to go first. They were all really good. Um, all right, you're ready. I know that look on Mike's face. He's ready to drop his bomb. Drop your bomb.
I didn't have a favorite
That's no
because
bomb. That's
no,
lame.
here's the
Come
reason.
on.
And I'm going to tell you the reason. They all had pros and cons. They all had pros and cons. So I'll take on Alcons first. With Alcons, I felt the mid range was a little aggressive, a little forward, a little sounded a little like this. Sounded like you were cupping your hand. Sound a little too projected like that. Their bass was the best. Alcon's bass was the best because it had the most punch. So when you were watching a John Wick scene, whenever he was shooting, you actually felt the bullet. Boom, 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 boom. That was a huge takeaway from the Alcon's room. Now, with I think overall experience, I enjoyed the Gramani room the most, just because of the experience they provided. The seats were ridiculously comfortable. I think that row one is probably one of the best seats I've ever sat in, let alone got to enjoy a huge experience like that in. See more screens is phenomenal. Beautiful screens. I honestly thought I was actually watching an OLED TV, but I was actually watching a projector. The sound was perfect. Uh, I would have I would have done a little bit more bass. That's one thing. I would have done more bass in that room. That's where I think their opportunity was. Not enough bass. And Trinov was kind of like a good blend of all of it. Their chairs were okay. The bass was obviously perfected with this waveform technology, which it does work, but took 24 subwoofers to make it work. The screen was Seymour, so obviously the picture quality was good. Overall, it was a good experience. Which one, gun to my head, which one would I choose for my own home? It would probably be the Grimani. So Grimani takes the cake because of their overall experience. Just bump up the bass.
Yeah, so I'll talk through them as well. And one of the awards that I'm going to give out is going to be best demo room, right? And obviously these are the top 3 in contention. I agree with your assessment of the Alcon's room. It was actually a little too loud for me. And the mids to highs were a little too forward for me, right? Super good bass. Super good bass. And other than it being a little too forward for me, really good sound quality. So Mr. Lindy says they tweaked the room a bit for day 2. I don't know. I heard their room the morning of day 2.
Me too.
So I did not hear it on. Well, hold on. Let me rethink that. It was day 2 for me, so I heard it Thursday morning. Isn't it? No, it was Wednesday morning. No, Friday morning, wasn't it? You and me were there Friday. It was Friday morning, right?
Friday morning, so day 2.
Friday morning. Yep.
Technically day 2.
Yeah. So
day
I heard
3 for a lot of press.
That's right. So I maybe I heard it on day 2, but that Friday morning, whatever day that was, or whenever they made changes, that's when I heard it. I heard the Trinov room on the press pre-release on Wednesday night. So I think they changed some things on that for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I heard it on Wednesday night, and I heard Alcon's on Thursday. I'm pretty sure it was Thursday. So really good bass. The low end was just phenomenal. The sound quality was really good. It was too loud and a little bit too forward. Visuals were fine. Seating was nothing to talk about. What kind of chairs? I don't even remember what kind of chairs they had.
I think it was just regular sitting chairs, like nothing crazy.
Yeah. Then you move over to sound room 10, Brett's room. Everything there was absolutely on point. Just killer on point. Likely the most balanced of all the rooms, I think, and a really great experience. And as I always say, the most important feature of any theater is the seating. And it really is. If you're not comfortable,
no, I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
People always do. They do exactly what you did. Is they kind of laugh, and then they think about it, and either they're like, "Why?" Or they're like, "Yeah, I see it." But yeah, it's just like your butt's got to feel good, or you're just not going to be happy, right? If your neck starts hurting or something.
Okay, let me tell you. I think that was a huge issue in the Alcon's room because they did pack a lot of people in there, and we were very close together. To be honest, we were rubbing elbows, and that's not how I want to enjoy something. Okay, just as an aside, I thought their setup in 2019 was way better.
It was
flat out. Their setup in 2019 would have taken the cake today. So whatever they did from then to now, just go back to what you were doing then. Like seating wise, sound wise, the room was. I felt the room was bigger and taller in 2019. So yeah, that's my advice.
Maybe that's just nostalgia talking a little bit.
No, it was an excellent room then and now, but I would, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right on. But the base was better. So whatever Trinov is doing with
I
their
do
double
agree.
base array waveforming,
I do agree. I do
it's
agree.
magic.
The bass
And
was a lot more aggressive in the Alcons this time around.
the Storm Audio room tuning was magic as well. And then
Mhm.
we get to the actual Trinov Ascendo room. Wonderful experience there. I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna hedge my bet a little bit, right? So I'm gonna say my tie for top one right now is Trinov and Sound Room 10, Brett's room, the Germani room, and then underneath that was the Alcons. They're all great, and I think anybody would be happy to have any of these systems in their homes because they're all like $500,000 systems and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm going to put a little more thought into it, and then come up with my final top demo room award that I'll do later this week.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll do the same on my video as
yeah.
well. So, for those of you not subscribed to my channel, it's just Michael Andrew at
Links down below
Mikey
already.
Andrew.
Just look in the
Yeah,
notes if you're on YouTube. For the folks that are watching on Twitch, and there's one person watching on Twitch. Thank
God
you,
bless him.
whoever it is on
God
Twitch.
bless him.
I don't think that's in the notes there. You had to come over to YouTube, but I got one Twitch viewer. Um,
Oh,
I'm joking.
Giles, I think overall I had a very, very nice time. I had a very
Yeah,
good time. Tiring. I'm tired as all holy hell, but I had a really good time with it.
yeah, me too. It was a wonderful show. Cedia's back. Not that they went anywhere, but their attendance was low across for
Hmm.
everybody all the time. Um, and I'm glad that it's in Denver, and I'm glad that I got to hang out with Mike there. Next year, all you companies out there, let's get things planned. If you want to
Way
have
ahead
Mike
of
and I
time.
come together, we
Way
can both
ahead of
film at the
time.
same
Yeah.
time. So love to do more things with more people. Super exciting. And then just some shout outs. A lot of YouTubers were there. Oh, there's Deirdre. We were talking up your stuff, your room, and it was
It
wonderful
was
down
very
there.
nice meeting Deirdre. That was really cool.
It was super awesome to see her and the rest of everybody from Acurus Aragon. And
Mhm.
if you guys didn't get a chance to listen to the demo that was powered by the Muse, or listen to the 2 channel using their Aragon equipment, you absolutely missed out. It was super good stuff. So
Honestly, out of all of the demo rooms, aside from the top heavy three, I really did enjoy the Accurus room. I really did.
well, that's
Um,
that's my number 4. That's my number 4 demo
okay.
room, right? And
Yeah.
the other 2, they're all like $500,000 to $1 million rooms with projectors and
Right.
it's not the same kind of thing.
I
But
like that room. The Martin. I wish you would have checked out the Martin
yeah,
Logan
I
room.
didn't
That
see
one
that one.
was really nice. And then the Sony rooms were okay. So yeah, overall, I thought everybody did a fantastic job. I was happy to see all of our friends. It was really cool.
It's the gear is nice, and that stuff's all nice,
Yeah.
and getting the footage is nice. But the best part for me is always getting to see everybody, and that's
Yeah.
both the folks that do the stuff that we kind of do, as well as the fans. And I consider myself a fan too. Number of people got a chance to talk to. Oh, Larry's here. Thanks for watching, Larry. Appreciate it. Um, and then all of the industry people, right? It's just like
Mhm.
like a big family reunion, and everybody is out there working hard to create these products. No matter what you think about it, each one, right? Is it the right thing for you? Is it not the right thing for you? They're all working hard to build this industry for all of us to enjoy. So hats off to everybody that was there, and hats off to Cedia for creating that great organization and having a great trade show where we can all gather and enjoy each other's company and see all the cool new toys.
Mhm.
All right, with that,
Stay tuned, guys, for our individual synopsis on this. So mine will be coming out here the early next week.
right on. Remember, Michael Andrew, YouTube, Instagram, go check him out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Links down below. If you're here and you haven't subscribed yet, shame on you. Um,
I know, right?
click the button, give me a subscribe, head over to Instagram, check me out there as well. You can find all of us on all platforms, and we're happy to show content everywhere. And I guess we'll close with that. See everybody in the next video.
Yep.